Boom. Good morning. I'm going to turn on once I get that. Well, I'm live. I'll turn on. There we go. Do not disturb. Do not disturb. We'll tune in here. Boom. Hit the thumbs up. And we're going to do some scans. Let's see. What's DPST at? That's what I want to see. There it is, 48. Ooh, look at that. Look at that slide. Let's do the 4 hour on this. Oofa. I mean, look at that 43% gain. Oof. UVIX. This is 2 times the VIX futures. Look at the VIX. $2.81 up to $3.70. Wow. That's a 2 times levered VIX. Wow. Wow. Let me see. Does this have the VIX market data? S&P VIX index. The VIX is 18. Look at the year to date. You're going to have to worry about when we get up near the 30 mark, like we were in March. Other than that, PayPal, V-shaped recovery, Palantir, Neo, the ugly truth, Verizon, close, but not quite there yet. Trending news, buy rated dividend stocks for volatility and high rates. Huh. That's an interesting list. I'm going to include this one. No. Let's see. We're going to put this one in. Word down and then shut up. Hallelujah. This is an interesting art. It's got, you may like this one here. I'll put it in the chat. It's going to be in the newsletter, but I'll put it in the chat. Basically says buy rated dividend stocks for volatility and high rates, and AbbVie is in there. Avgo, Devon is in there. And I'll go over Devon. Mosaic is in there. I mean, these are all NextEra Energy, NEE. I mean, you want to see one that's just a nightmare recently. Look at that. I mean, that's gone. They warned. This is just from 68 to 50 in a matter of like a couple days. When does it hit? I mean, let's look at a long term on this one. When does it hit something? I mean, this is back to where it was during COVID. That's crazy to me. Crazy. And the RSI can sit there all day long at 18. But God, that's nuts. There was just a guy on that I was watching on CNBC who says, and look, Devon's down another 1%. God, look at Devon Energy. I mean, we were talking about energy. This is the biggest sign of, hey, the macro headwinds. That's what I need to bring up. Devon for Celia. I need to say macro economic factors of rates going up and bond prices being cheaper a recession and energy will go down. That's over OPEC continuing higher. Okay, I've got my notes. I mean, I need this one. I mean, God. You just had that golden cross, and you're looking like you're heading for a death cross, but just not. PXD, is this back to 100 or 200? 212. That's probably going back to 200. But I continue, and I mean, target is going to be under 100. And it's Thursday, and I still haven't done anything to the core portfolio, but I just hate. It's more about what's going to go faster. Is it oil? Is it let's go to Linktree. Daily stock pick. There we go. We'll bring that up. Wah, wah, wah. I like this pre-market summary, by the way. I'll leave that up. But we're going to do some scans because it's already 8:54. Larry! Wow. Target and Boeing. I said it the other day. I think Boeing is one of the best buys here once it gets that confirmation. I mean, you still haven't gotten the confirmation, but once you get that confirmation, hoofa, look out. I think you're getting back to the 220 mark. I think you'll absolutely get back there. Brokerage holdings. Sedge. Let's see. We're going to go covered call ETFs. Anything. XLG. We'll put those down here. Nah, it's yellow, Larry. It's too yellow. I'm on round 1 of bleaching. Round 2 of bleaching will be today. And then round 3 of bleaching will probably be Sunday while I'm watching football. That's most likely what's going to happen. And it'll be white. I'm trying to get it like this white as my beard gray. XYLG, XYLD, and JEPQ. And these have not been working, by the way. I mean, you've given up all your yield. So you look at that XYLD, these are covered calls. I mean, you've given up all your yield. So whatever you're making up, you've actually lost money on these two. And that's a lot of these covered call ETFs. They don't have a large history, but what they're showing is, where's my volume? Volume's on the front. But what they're showing is that they just don't hold up. You can't have something that's got this huge yield. And I gotta look at that. I forget what that one that I said that had just launched that was paying 60%. I know it's down, but It was paying 60%. There's nothing in the energy space that crossed up yesterday. There's no way. No way something in the energy space crossed up. Bond rates, it's kind of a, the Fed, the Fed's happy that some stuff is going wrong. But, I mean, look at Exxon. This was 120 at the beginning of last week. And it's at 111. That's a big move in an oil giant. You look at United Healthcare, 510. Kind of holding up at that 500 mark. You got earnings coming up next week, October 12th. I'll be in Philly next week. So, come on, TrendSpider, work for me. We're going to bring that one up. Let's see. News. Trending news. Lower copper prices, higher financing costs. Oh, come on. Let's scan the energy names already. Why is it taking so long? Nothing. I knew it. Levered ETFs. Let's see if something cross up. XPXL and UPRO. UPRO. Low cost Vanguard. Anything in this? VTI. Let's see. Spider sectors. Nothing. Let's see. In my not owned list, I'm going to have quite a few, I think. Marriott and Deere. Has Deere been beaten down enough? Marriott's close to its 200-day. I'll bring up both. Delta Airlines. BITW. This is social media. I don't like that ETF, though. Lightspeed. Realty. This is the REIT. I saw, morning Joe, I saw a REIT specialist yesterday said we don't expect REITs to be investable until 2025 at the earliest. Pins, Hilton. We'll bring up Pins and Hilton. Okay. I'm including quite a bit from my not owned list. They're quality names. I mean, those aren't like, the ones that BITW is the only one that I think is slightly a little skeptical. And morning Joe, if I didn't say that. SCO yesterday and today. Crazy good buys. We can look at that one. NASDAQ 100. TrendSpider doesn't do a lot of NASDAQ 100 scanning stuff. CoStar. Marriott, we have that one. Keurig Dr. Pepper. Picard. Starbucks. I think Starbucks at some point becomes another one that you just invest in. But at some point, ADI, Analog Devices, BIIB. This one's an interesting one. This is one that there's an assumption that BIIB comes out of this doldrum. And I saw some debating about it. I mean, this is 2021. This stock got all the way up to $500. It's at $257 now. And you can see that golden cross. The golden cross hasn't done a damn thing on this. Nothing. And it's still moving downward. But I'll put it in there because I think it was an intuitive surgical. This one's just continuing down. Okay, let's look at the S&P. There's going to be quite a bit of S&P, I think. Well, we only are going to do 100, so most they'll be like 10. But yesterday was such a good day. Mara's down at $7.50. We can look at that one. And nobody's been asking me to go over a lot of stuff. ACN, Accenture. Nah, I don't like that one. They advertise too much on golf. Okay, let's go over the strategy tester. Yes, 4-hour run. You can see that end right there. Cleveland Cliffs putting in this time right below that 200-day. Okay. We're going to bring this up. We're going to bring this up. We're going to bring this up. I need to go to X. And I need to look at my likes because there was 52-week high, 52-week lows yesterday. And I know I liked it. There we go. Okay. I'm going to bring that up. We'll look up Apple, Roblox, Rivian, Costco. Okay. If you're new here, which many of you probably are not, but I'm going to start the podcast now. I think I'm good enough to start the podcast. Let's go over to SPY. SPY and Qs. So SPY in pre-market down 0.24. You had that cross up at 424 yesterday. Let's look at the Qs. $358. You're just kind of capitulating. You're down 0.17. Okay. Do Thursday. I'll start out with SPY. Okay. Good morning. It's Thursday, October 5th. I hope you enjoyed the new theme song. I'm still gonna do that AI video. I was busy creating images last night off of DALL-E, and DALL-E, great image creator. I loved it. Yeah, let's talk about SPY. Just talk about the market overall. If you want to know where the market's going, I think I'll include this in the newsletter. This is a Tom Lee interview on CNBC. He's confident we're going to have a nice rally into the end of the year, much higher from where we are now. I don't know when it starts. We're seeing a rocky period. Watch that one. It's a minute 35. I think he's solid in his outlook on that. I do think that he's probably one of the more, if not most, bullish people. But you can see here we had a buy on SPY yesterday, 424.71, because again we talked about this one at 425. It got you out in the next candle. I'm seeing the MACD kind of capitulate here. It's just putting in. What you have to realize is that bond rates are affecting this. Let's look at some seasonality of SPY. And essentially what happened yesterday, not that one. Let's look at the seasonality of SPY. Do I have it? I guess I don't have it. We'll look it up. But there's a TrendSpider put out a chart. SPY looking at the last decade of weekly seasonality data, we do see quite a strong recovery in both win rate and average return over the next 5 years. So let's look at weekly, and we'll go back to, let's say, 2013. We'll go January 2013. Yeah, look at the week that we're in, 36%. Look at the next week, 70%. The following week, 70%. Then 80%, 80%, 70%. The only one is the 50th week of the year. And I believe that's the week before Christmas when everybody takes off. So you've got some solid returns here. So what do you want to do with this information? You want to wait for confirmation. I'm telling you, that 9-day is strong. When you close above that 9-day, miss the first couple of percent. You might miss it. We can look at QQQ. I had said, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday this week, hey, TQQQ looks strong. Let's look at QQQ. It's got you in at 358. You're trading at 359. In pre-market, you're down 0.14. Bond rates are ruling this market. TQQ, on the other hand, remember, this is a triple levered ETF. So this is not one you want to use a 4-hour on, but it got you in at 35.61. You're trading at 35.93 right now. It's 35.73 in the pre-market. The MACD's hanging out down there. If Tom Lee is right and other people are right, this one's going to take off. And again, Tom Lee says, hey, we're going to have a violent move, and it's going to be pretty instant. If we take a look at the seasonality of TQQQ, look at that. I mean, it's even better. You're here in a pretty much win rate, but you're at 60-60. Then you're at 80%, 43rd week of the year. If we go to a monthly and we just look at the, let's look at the monthly for the last 11 years. Look at October, 73, November, 90, and then December. I mean, the only other one, and July, we killed it on TQQQ. If I remember, that was like a 20% gain where I said, hey, buy TQQ at the beginning of the month. For the last number of years, I forget how many it was 100%. So what do you want to do with that information? You want to take it and you want to kind of trade around it. And I'm not saying sell out of your portfolio. Find some stocks that you like. One of the things that is kind of scary is TrendSpider posted this yesterday. U.S. Treasury bonds have now seen a larger percent loss from their highs than the S&P 500 did during the great financial crisis. This is crazy. This is the extended duration ETF, the Vanguard extended duration. It's symbol EDV versus the S&P 500. So remember, when bond rates go up, the reason is the actual assets actually are cheaper. So that's why you're seeing a number of fundamentals just go wacky. And people are so scared because we haven't seen these rising rates for quite a long time. So in many times, it's the first time that people are seeing bond rates go up like that. From Seeking Alpha, I got their pre-market movers, and yesterday, I mean, Tesla was up, Roblox was up 4%, Shopify was up. The big losers, it's all energy. It's Devon, it's Oxy, it's XOM. Microsoft, strong buy. Coke went to strong buy just because of its valuation. Coke, I did a little bit more research into it, and one hypothesis is the strong dollar, and Coke has exposure to foreign currency, and that could be why you're so far down. We'll pull that one up. Google ratings, downgrades. Google and Uber went from a strong buy to hold. Remember, these quant ratings on Seeking Alpha, it's a daily thing. So it's not like an analyst coming out and saying, hey, we're downgrading this. But it is a daily thing, so be mindful of that. I saw this buy rating on dividend stocks. I'll include this in the newsletter. It's interesting because he puts out 15 stocks that are rated outperform and have a pretty good dividend. AbbVie, Broadcom, ConocoPhillips, Devon. I mean, again, we go over all of the energy names. There's Pioneer Natural Resources. I think Starbucks. Starbucks comes into play at some point in time when it has confirmation. But you've just got no confirmation in this market. Yesterday, all these stocks hit 52-week lows at some point during the day. Disney, Bank of America, Citi, General Motors, American Tower, Bristol Myers, ConAgra, Devon. L3 Harris, 3M, Newmont, Paramount, Raytheon, Square, and Target. Target we talk about all the time. Target, I'm going to take it out of the core portfolio. I've just been reluctant to because I think it's going to get that bounce back up to 115 or so. It's got no confirmation. So this is, do as I say, don't as I do. I'm holding on for dear life. There's no reason that I should have been holding without this confirmation right here. I should have been selling at 123. It had no confirmation. It touched it. It lost it right at 120. Should have sold at 120. So there's a lot of psychology in this as you see a stock sliding that you want to get out. I just, again, this market is tough. It is tough to trade in. Let's talk about our social request because I know a lot of people have been asking me about this one. Devon. It's a stock that I think a lot of people got into. A lot of people have been holding on, including me. Dollar cost averaging the entire way down. I think this is a solid stock. With energy prices the way they've been, you're going to have November 7th is their earnings. I do think you're going to see some type of pop because of a special dividend. Devon constantly trades a special dividend. If we go over to Seeking Alpha and we go to Devon Energy, because we can see, we can go to FinViz and look at the dividend, but I want to look at the special dividend of Devon. You can go to the history right here, and the 5-year history. You can see when prices go up like they did in 2022, it's a special dividend, special dividend, special dividend, special dividend. They constantly give a special dividend. The dividend wasn't super strong in the last quarter, and the reason was because prices of energy were down. Prices of energy have been up. So I expect this one, and I expect PXD to have positive things. But what you have to realize, here's my note, and I'll read my note exactly like I just typed it out. Macroeconomic factors of rates going up and bond prices being cheaper for higher rates, this is indicating a recession and energy will go down. So when bonds go up with higher dividends than these guys are going to pay, bonds are more attractive than a dividend-paying energy stock. That's overdoing the supply-demand side. With OPEC continuing the production cuts, they're just not driving prices higher because there's a fear of a recession and bonds are so attractive that they will buy the bond rates instead of trying to, get their dividend, get their yield out of the energy stocks. Because let's be honest, energy stocks trade at a low PE, and the reason they trade at a low PE is because everybody knows there's going to be an end to a lot of these fossil fuels energy. So, the PE of Devon is 5. Forward PE of 6. 6.81% dividend yield. It's down 27%. It's trading right now at $42. $42. If we go and we look at a long term of Devon, I am holding. I'm not selling. The question that you have to put with Devon is this a stock that when we start to see a change in stock prices, is energy one of the places where you want to be? I would say yes. I'm sitting here holding it. On a weekly, you just saw the MACD cross down. Your RSI is at 35. You're completely oversold. When was the last time we were in this range? It was July of 2020 when people still weren't sure whether energy was going to go up. Devon Energy was trading at $8 back then. $8. It's had the slide here from a long-term perspective. I just don't see how this one stays down. There's got to be something that I'm missing here. But that's exactly, I listened to 2 podcasts yesterday specifically on Devon. I listened to 2 people on CNBC argue specifically about Devon. And nobody knows why this stock is just going. They're like, hey, the valuation makes sense down at this point. For that high of a yield, it totally makes sense. You can see June, upgrade, Goldman, $58. They lowered the price down to $58. The average target price is still $60. Nobody's lowered it. You can look at this unveiling Devon Energy's value. Is it really priced right? A comprehensive guide. Devon Energy gains as market dips. What you should know. That's a Zacks one. I wouldn't worry about Zacks. 5 top stocks for October and Monthly Fool. You can look at Devon Energy. I mean, so far Devon Energy in October has been horrible. But this is how you take a look at this, is you look at these articles and you try and understand where you're going. I don't know where Devon's going. I'm sitting here holding, this guy, the first one is Target, and we just looked at Target. Target is ridiculously low, just ridiculously low. His second one, let's move down a little bit. Vertex sees blue skies. Then it's darkest before the dawn of the house mouse. Walt Disney is his next one. I mean, these are just beaten down prices. Play higher oil prices with this stock, Devon. Oil prices have made a dramatic comeback in recent weeks, surging, blah, blah, blah. Devon Energy's policy can mean huge dividends in a rising oil environment like the one we're witnessing now. The oil and gas producer pays a fixed dividend every quarter like most companies do, but it also pays a variable dividend. Absolutely. This one in PXD, pay that out there. Devon is on strong footing. It has a low break-even funding level of $40 West Texas. That's WTI crude oil, which means that the oil price the company needs to fund its operating capital expenditures this year is $40. Everything on top of that is absolute shareholder profit. So what are they going to do? Are they going to buy back stock? Are they going to give more dividend? Who knows? Who knows? But this is a good article to read because this was what? From, let's see, the date on this one is October 1st. That's 4 days ago. 4 days ago, this guy wrote this. So take a look. I mean, again, you know, from an insider standpoint, you have a sale. This is nothing. You have more buys at 49 and 50 during the March and February timeframe. These guys all know, you know, this is $80. Look at the value of these. I mean, this is a much higher price than these sales at 49 and 51. The guy at 49 and 51, I mean, that guy's buying back at 42 probably. So Celia and others on Facebook, I say this and I say this again. I think we were killed when Jim Cramer said Devon's a good stock. And he said that literally October 1st. I think Devon's a good stock. You can get into it. He said that and I cringed and I said, maybe I should get rid of this thing. But I'm a believer in this one. I like this one more than Oxy. And Oxy, in fact, is even down, even lower. This one's below 60. This one's at 59.55. You know, look at that. Just in a week, you had a buy here at 65.15, and 2 days later, it gets you out. This is the drop that the algorithm was in here to protect against. So I didn't listen to it. Again, this line right here at about 65, that was where I said, okay, you should sell it above it, buy it below it. I'd buy it again. One that, you know, I'm going to continue to buy is one Apple. Apple got downgraded by KeyBank. It's the reason they downgraded. There's a couple of things. Trading near all-time highs, softness in U.S. sales of iPhones. They're not seeing the strong demand for smartphones in the U.S., and in China in particular, they said Huawei is really making inroads with cheap phones. So that's essentially it. Now, the other thing about Apple that I wanted to bring up is that our hero of every fanboy, Tim Cook, just sold a shit ton of Apple. Tim Cook just sold $41 million of Apple. The senior VP sold $11 million. Or I'm sorry, yeah, senior VP. Now an SVP and general counsel, she sold $11 million. Back in August, $2 million. But the $11 million, this just seems like something that they sell on standard. Look at how many 11. Tim Cook selling at $41 million. There's been rumors that Tim Cook wanted one more big product out there before he retired. And that big product may be the Vision Pro. I don't think it's the car. The rumor on the street is that they put the car kind of on hold. Yeah. So that may mean that, hey, he's getting closer to retirement. I don't think that it makes a huge difference. I think, you know, Tim Cook was the one to guide them through. He was a supply chain guy. He helped them through the pandemic. They had plenty of supply, plenty of, they were strained for some things. But I think they masterfully did that one. So he was in the right place at the right time. Oil. We can let's go back here and let's look at oil because I want to look at crude oil here and the chart of crude oil. We can look at this one. And is there moving average on this? Because what I saw yesterday was, I got to be a pro to do all this stuff. Let's see. Let's look at WTI. Let's see if WTI crude. No, that's just, let's see, oil. See if I can find oil on People Oil Can. I guess not. I guess Seeking Alpha doesn't have like commodity stuff. Seeking Alpha is more a stock that kind of thing than anything. There's the core portfolio if you want to see it, but no, I got to take some of those out there. But oil is down. What I was looking for is oil collapsed down 5% under the 50-day moving average for the first time in a very long time. We know energy's just getting killed. Halima Croft was on CNBC. I like her a lot. She's the woman that I listen to for oil and stuff. So I really like it. I really, really like it. I like the oil play. And her in particular, she said, hey, oil's a good one. Now, Costco yesterday came out with, we can look at some of these. Let's pull up Costco. They released they're one of the few retailers that releases their monthly numbers. And I think seeing a gold rush 1 ounce bars. They are. Costco is selling these 1 ounce gold bars, and they can't keep them in stock. Wholesale had another strong month. Wholesale Corporation reports September sales results. This is just, they report their monthly sales results against the last month. It was positive again. It's down 0.24%. You had this buy at 568. I say anything under 550, I think, on this one. Grab it and go. 570, it is expensive. I mean, the PE is 40, forward PE is 33. Year to date, you're up 25%. It's less than a 1% yield. You are at all-time highs. I mean, 576 up here is the all-time high. You are trading at all-time highs. I don't think that 550 is a crazy price for it. I do think when they actually look at the earnings, 343 to 486, go to a Costco parking lot on a weekend. Just go to any Costco. You don't have to park. Just go there. You will have so much traffic, and the parking lots are full. Every Costco is like that. Rivian did a sale of notes, which is a fundraise. That's diluting people. I don't think it's a bad price. It closed at 23. It's down at 21. It's down 10%. 21. Nobody's going to remember that they did this sale. Nobody's going to remember this. It was a tiny one. Not a bad time to raise cash. Again, look at where the stock is. It's expensive, but they're not going bankrupt. These guys aren't running out of money. They're losing $6 billion, but they've got somewhere near about $100 billion of cash. So if you're only losing $6 billion while you ramp up production and things are going well, I mean, they're releasing more Amazon vans. I'm in Atlanta. Go and look at the Amazon vans. They're Rivian vans. You can Google on YouTube, Rivian Amazon vans. They are so nice. And this is a company that's going to basically change their entire fleet over to electric when they can do it. So, it's short term. All they're looking at doing is not having to go to a gas station, not having their own oil stuff, and having a constant supply of energy where they can do battery backups and solar and charge the vans overnight with those types of materials. So Rivian, I think it's an absolute buy. I think I say this again. I think it's a $30 stock by the end of the year. This was a good one. Roblox. Let me see. Roblox. RBLX. This is in the core portfolio. This one popped again. You're up another 1% in pre-market to $29.90. What did I say when it was down here at 27? Grab it because you're going to get 10%. $30. $30 Roblox was up. Now, when we talk about the oil kind of slaughter, you know what hasn't gotten slaughtered? The inverse. Ultra short Bloomberg crude oil, SCO. This one had a buy at 16.15. You're trading at 18.19. It's at 19.35. You're hitting 20. You could go, if we continue to slide and we go down to $60 per barrel, which is what the administration wants. Again, there's a lot of manipulation about oil prices and stuff. Think about the oil strategic reserves, which are at their lowest level for a while. There's manipulation of that oil price by the United States. They haven't started refilling the oil reserves, but I think you could buy PXD. I think you can buy Devon. I think you can buy Oxy. I think you can buy any of those, and I think you'll be fine. Specifically, Devon and PXD pay special dividends. I think those are the two. Even MRO, by the way, Marathon Oil. I think this one. Look at this one. I mean, this was a $27 stock, and you're at $24.33 within a couple of days. It's just oversold. Just oversold. Let's talk about scans. And scans. The first scan that I don't trust is Target. It got a cross up here at 106.95. Again, those that listen know my algorithm is based on MACD. And the MACD crosses up, crosses down. When it crosses up, you get a buy-in here at 106.95. The RSI is at 26. How many times have I said, hey, I think this could be the turnaround and it could be the bottom, and it isn't. Target's closed 9 stores, I think, nationwide, or they're going to because of crime issues. It's still not going to fix the crime issues. They're still going to have bleed of their inventory. They're still going to have bad management. They're still going to have low margins. So Target is one that, I got a $30 gift card to Target the other day, and I was like, what the hell am I going to buy at Target? One that I am pounding the table on that I think you should take when we get confirmation. This is one that got a buy, yesterday as well, at 188. It's at 186 in pre-market, down 0.22. I think you wait till this gets over the 9-day. It shouldn't just touch the 9-day. You should close over the 9-day. The 9-day right now is at 189. The buy-in here is at 186. Wait until it closes over the 9-day. But I think once it closes over that 9-day, I think you're going back to 220. Doesn't mean that you might not have to put up with some more downside, but I think once we close over that 9-day, you'll be back down there. Another one that has been a thorn in my side that just doesn't look like it's going to turn around is Sedge. And it's touching the 9-day. It's not closing above the 9-day. Right now, it's up 0.49%. When does this one actually hit the bottom? Who the hell knows? If we go over here to Sedge and we look at the PE, the forward PE is 11 right now. 11. This used to be at like 40. I said it was a $300 stock. What, 2-3 months ago? I thought, in June or July, I thought this run was going to get back up to 300. It touched 299. It touched 299. The 52-week high is 345. The 52-week low, 117. 117 is the 52-week low. This one is down 55% year to date. I would, even though it's up and I have it on the list, here's where I bought right back here. I've held it this entire time. Small buy, but still doesn't feel good. Triple levered ETFs, SPXL. This is a 3 times levered bull of the S&P. Got a cross up. I still wouldn't trust it. Still not closing above that 9-day. But SPXL, similarly, UPRO. It's another triple levered ETF on the S&P 500. Same thing. When one gets a cross up, the other one would typically get a cross up. They typically trade kind of in sync. The chart look very similar. It's still not above that 9-day. So I would be extra cautious about that. Marriott International Hotels. Hotels have gotten a little hurt, but this one's still trading above its 200-day. This one has confirmation above the 9-day at 194. Maybe this one and travel has turned around. They have pricing power. Maybe it gets back to 200. Nice little, pop on that one. It hasn't been too oversold. Deere. This one, if we look at a weekly on this one has just gone down. 376. 376 on this one. Let's take a look at a weekly. Because this one, at some point in time, it comes back down. It probably has 355 in this run. But you can see here in July 2022, it got down to 287. This one's just coming back down to the 90. It has done nothing this year. So Deere had a cross up. The other one, Delta Airlines, as far as travel goes, Delta Airlines, it's kind of, it's had a slide. Here at 36, I think it's a $42 stock. It has to close and has to be above that 200-day, but it's up 1.19%. These guys are going to get killed as oil prices go down, as oil prices go up. As oil prices go down, these guys are saving money. It's good news. So you can see that slide's all based on oil. It's based on operational difficulties, blah, blah, blah. You know about the Delta CEO saying, hey, we're going to reverse our decision on the credit card stuff. Pinterest. I'll go over Pinterest before I go over Hilton and stuff like that. Pinterest, I've said it's a $30 stock. You're trading at $26.39. Through this downturn, this one has held its 200-day. That 200-day at $26.30, that's where you want to look for support. Once it breaks it, you want to buy it. But even at this price, I don't think it's a bad price to be at, because I do think that Pinterest at 30 is good. If you like Pinterest at 30, just get Meta under 300. It's at 305 right now, because we'll go over here to FinViz and we'll look at Pinterest. Pinterest forward PE is 21. 21. Now Meta, their forward PE is 18. And you know Meta is actually laying off people in the metaverse. So they're going to spend less. That should mean that Meta actually makes more money. So Pinterest is a buy. Meta, I still think it's a buy here at 304. Just get it. I mean, start your position. Hilton, same thing as Marriott. They have pricing power. It's a cross up at 151. You're trading near highs. I don't think it's horrible investment, but only if you travel and you stay at Hilton's. Starbucks will be a buy at some point in time. It's up above that 9-day. This could be the point in time. It's below its 200-day. I've said 97 to 100. I thought that was the buy area. I thought that was the support based on this. It's gone down to 91. Add to it. This is one that's not going to go anywhere. Absolutely not going to go anywhere. Another one that I heard, I was listening to a couple people buy, and I don't know what they were arguing about, but BIIB, Biogen, they said this one's low enough that you can actually buy it. If we go and we look at a weekly on this one, this was a $500 stock. Not what, 1 year ago? 1 year ago back here, it was a $468 stock. That was $468 on just 1 week. This is a weekly. This period was a 34% period. 34% in 1 week this one traded. This one here, it traded 35% in 1 week. This is pharmaceutical. It will trade big on any news. The RSI is down at 40. The MACD is kind of down there. This is on a weekly. Now, if we just look at the 4 hour and we run this, the algorithm doesn't do great on this because I think it just doesn't react quick enough. This one, as far as pharmaceuticals, I mean, that 200 days moving down, you do have the 9-day starting to turn up. That 50-day will probably provide some resistance to it. You can see, what did it do on its way down? Hit the 50-day, bounced off it. What did it do here? Hit the 50-day, bounced off it. What did it do here? Hit the 50-day, bounced off it. Hit the 50-day, bounced off it. Hit the 50-day, bounced off it. Hit the 50-day, bounced off it several times. So that 50-day is your resistance, and it's not much higher. You want to wait until it crosses that one. Then your 200-day will probably provide you the next resistance there. So covered call ETFs, XYLG, XYLD. Just take a look at these. These are, and I have that list in TrendSpider. Just understand, even SPY. I'm in SPY, and I have not. I have lost my yield. So even though that one pays like a 12% yearly yield, I'm down total. Even though I've gotten paid out the dividend and I bought back, it just hasn't made sense to hold this. These covered call ETFs, you just, even in a downturn, you just don't want to hold them. Even though you're getting cash out of them, you just don't want to hold them. It just winds up losing you money. Again, I point out, you're getting 5% in any of your government fidelity stuff. In Webull, if you want Webull, you can go over here to Linktree, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. It's this third one down, Webull. Get 12 free stocks. They pay you 5% on your cash. And what's interesting is Webull puts it up there in your account. They say, hey, we paid you this much cash yesterday. So they pay it out each day. It's nice. It's pleasant. Fidelity, same thing. If we go over here to Fidelity, I'm in the FRXD, something like that. I forget what it is. But Fidelity's paying you 4.97% off of SPAXX. That's a 7-day yield as of 9/15. And it's probably even up more. So let's look. SPAXX. Let's look at SPAX and see what it's yielding. The 7-day yield is. 7-day yield, 4.98%. So it's as of today too. So, yeah, you can get 5%. That's what I'm saying about these these levered ETFs. Don't try them. I mean, right now you're just losing money. Let's look at the market just opened up. Apple up 0.22. We talked about this trend line down. It's broken that trend line. It's above its 9-day. I think you're okay. Amazon, it's under 130. I think you can absolutely buy Amazon under the 200-day. I love Amazon there. Boeing, I talked about. I like Boeing once it gets its confirmation over the 9-day. Bank of America, this one's just seen a crazy, crazy slide. Under 30, I think you can buy this to go over 30. Cleveland Cliffs, we talked about this. This is a $20 stock. I think when this one gets its footing, it's a $20 stock. Costco, wait for it to get back towards 530 or so. You don't want to buy it all-time highs. Disney, under 80. Under 80. You just want to wait until something happens, something changes. Maybe they announce something, but I'm not dollar cost averaging this one. I think it could go lower. I think it absolutely it deals with, whatever they do politically has been the wrong move. I mean, you're back to where you were trading during the pandemic, during March when the parks were closed. You're just losing that much money. Devon's down at 43. I think that one's, again, I point out, I'll dollar cost average this one. I'm just kind of waiting till it gets some type of confirmation. I'm holding on for tax purposes on this one. Google at 135. Add it. I mean, just add it. This one, I say under 130, grab it. But I don't see this one going. I was playing with Bard yesterday. I was playing with Google Flights. It was crazy. I loved it. Google Flights with the new integration. You can say, hey, I was saying, hey, I want to go to Kathmandu. I've always had this thing about doing the trek to base camp at Everest, and I want to go to Kathmandu lying down for the cheapest price. And you know what? I mean, it did it for me. Bard kind of outlined that one for me. It was great. I loved it. The integration of that stuff is amazing. Goldman Sachs is almost at 300. We talk about the bank, the book value all the time of banks. If we go to Goldman Sachs, and we'll look at Bank of America too, the book value is at 319. This is at 308. They're below their book value. If you look at Schwab, let's look at Schwab. There was some rumors that Schwab's one of these difficult ones. The book value on Schwab is $15. It's at 51. If we look at Bank of America, the book value is 32. This one's at 25. So, there's a lot of talk of trading below book banks, but when they're below their book value because they always wind up getting above their book value. Well, if you've got some bond rates that are, if these banks are holding bonds, they're actually losing their value. So you want to be careful of that one. Coke at 54, we talked about. I still think it's a $60 stock. Don't buy it on its way down. Right now, it's still below its 9-day. Still not worthwhile. Lilly, add it on the pullback. You still haven't had a MACD cross up, but you're about to at 541. Add it. The weight loss drug, it's going to continue to push this one higher. Meta at 302, I think you're fine adding it at any point in time. Microsoft, anything below 330, you're at 317. I think this one's fine too. I was playing with Bing, Dolly, yesterday as well. I like that one. Netflix, we talked about. If they do a rate increase, more revenue, they will realize that more revenue on October 18th when they announce earnings. Based on the password crackdown. NVIDIA has just been creeping higher, using that 200-day. It's right along that 200-day. The 50-day, it's coming down on the 50-day, but that 200-day, It's just using it as, and in October, there is a NVIDIA day that's coming up too. And with NVIDIA, and I've been pounding the table on this one, SMCI, this one saw a little bit of a slip yesterday, 2 green candles. But today it's up 1.28% at 284. You're going to cover this gap at 350. I'm telling you, you're going to cover that gap at 350. PanW, I still like PanW at 235. PXD, Qualcomm below 110, I think you're fine. Roblox, I think it's getting to 30. Shopify is expensive, and this is the problem, is that higher for longer is killing Shopify. I've said that 48 is probably the support level to cover this gap. If it got down there, it hasn't touched 48 yet. Hasn't touched 48. But I think at 51, I think it's a good enough risk to try and get back up here. This is a quality name, Snowflake at 153, I think that one's going probably to 180, 185. It constantly just does that. I think it's fine. Tesla is up 0.52. We saw Tesla bounce off this 200-day. 250 was the price point that I said I thought it was a good price. Still think it's a good price. I still think that this one goes up. They have a $43,000 Model Y now, crossover car. That's crazy good. Uber is down 1% at 44. They just announced that they will now return UPS and FedEx packages for, I think, a flat fee of $5. They won't come and pick them up at your house. I like that. They're thinking about different ways of revenue. UNH, their earnings are coming up. Is it next week? It is October 12th, next week. I think they kill it. I do think they kill it. I think it's a little bit overbought right now. I think, if you want to get in at this one at 517, I think you're taking a risk. Probably not a great risk in my mind. I'd say wait for it to get under 500. I just don't know if it's going to go under 500 again. Walmart hanging out at this 160 price point. It's not coming down here to the 200-day. I don't see it. Even if it does, it's only $3. Add to Walmart. I'm shopping at Walmart every day or every other day. Groceries, love it, love it, love it. So there you have it. There's the podcast. I think it's good. But if you have any questions about anything, if you want a special on TrendSpider, you get access to my 4-hour algorithm. Go to the Linktree, linktr.com. /daily stock picks, linktr.ee/daily stock pick. TrendSpider's right there. Seeking Alpha, get $50 off Seeking Alpha. I love Seeking Alpha. The pre-market summary that I get in my inbox with all the breaking news as to what's in my portfolio, I love it. You basically can import your own portfolio too. I really, really like Seeking Alpha. $50 off for a year. It's $189. The newsletter, you can get the newsletter for free. It's available every day. I include my notes and what I went over with some charts. So you can get the newsletter right there. It's free. Weekends, I do have a paid option, but you don't have to pay to get it. Visible, if you're paying anything more than $25 per month for your phone, Visible is a great option. This is the service that I use. It's through Verizon. The service is actually great. If we go out to the plans, you can see there's 2 plans. There's only 2 plans, $25 or $35. Either one. But I have the $25 plan. What this link gets you is $20 off your first month of service. So your first month is $5. It's great. I like it. I've never had a problem with it. Now, if you're buying a Tesla, use this link. It saves you $500 off. We talked about the $43,000 one. You can get a $7,500 tax credit on that one and $500 off of cash. I like it. I like it a lot. Savvy Trader, you can follow my trades there. You can gift me with Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever you want. If you want that, all of the social links are up here. If you want to just email me, my email's right there. It's dailystockpick3@gmail.com. Okay. Thursday, October 5th. Good luck. Let's hope today winds up positive, and bond rates don't take over, and that oil continues its climb back to the upside. But it's hurt. It's really hurt. Okay. Take care. See you tomorrow. Scott, I agree with you. I agree with you about Boeing. The product, I think the management team there, I think they hid problems. I think since the new management has come in, I think it's better. But I would say they had 2 problems, which was the product and the management. But with airfare and global travel being up, Boeing is one of two companies. It's not, and they've got a ton of airliners sitting in China where they'll realize like billions and billions of cash. I think it's 30 planes, so it's going to be like $30 to $50 billion that they'll realize in cash once they release those over to the Chinese. I think it goes through some type of State Department stuff. But look at this. I mean, even for Boeing, the last 11 years, look at October, but then look at November. Look at November. I mean, November's what? Third best month. So I think I'm more interested in the stock price of Boeing going back to the 200-day than I am worried about the actual valuation of it, because I don't think that the valuation's crazy. Forward P of 37. I mean, they do have to start turning a profit, and then if they announce that dividend, it's a $400 stock again. The second they announce a new dividend, that the dividend's back, it's a $400. And you can see earnings negative, earnings positive. So we can even look here. Minus 127, minus 82, but it was a gap profit. EBITDA. Minus 175, minus 618. I mean, they were losing $6 per share, and it was 140 and climbing up. And then they lost $1.75. Still kind of just flattened out. Then they lost 127, and it went up a little bit. They lost 82 cents. It went up. Now, if you're telling me that they're going to lose $6.18 again, then you're back down here at 135. If you're telling me that they're probably going to announce positive earnings on October 24th, I think you're back at least to 215, 217. So, but if you want to look at some of the news articles that probably have more information than me, bigger planes to overcome operating constraints. That's where you have Boeing, is that the carriers want bigger planes that are more fuel efficient, because as fuel goes up, Boeing will sell more planes because it makes more sense for a company to retire the old planes that are not fuel efficient and buy a new plane that is fuel efficient. The dollar amounts just make it better, and Boeing will make more money that way. So as oil stays higher for longer, that benefits Boeing. So, but we're seeing a big downturn in the, let's say, Seeking Alpha. Let's look at the markets. Let's refresh. Dow Jones down. S&P down. NASDAQ down. Crude oil down. We can look at crude here. This is the price of crude oil. Let's look at 5 years. You know what? Let's chart. Can we chart this? Yeah, we can chart this. There's the S&P versus the price of oil. 1 year, S&P is up 12%. Crude oil futures down 4%. 3 years. Crude oil futures up 111%. So I do like Seeking Alpha for this stuff. But, yeah. Okay, let me go grab my laptop. My dogs have behaved so well today. Oh. What is it? The quant rating. Quant rating, Scott. Quant rating is proprietary to Seeking Alpha. Here. Seeking Alpha quant rating. It's kind of their analyst rating. I'll put it here. if you sign up, what's interesting is they give a quant rating, quant performance, strong buy recommendation. We can view them. Here's the quant rating. Meta, Powell, AppLovin. I mean, they have 4.99, 4.88. Carvana, I don't know why Carvana is 4.98, other than the strike. Super Micro, right up there. Abercrombie and Fitch, quant rating. And then they put it next to the Seeking Alpha analyst. They have analyst rate stocks. And then they put the Wall Street next to it. So quant rating actually helps. I like it because it gives me something that is slightly, I don't want to say it's neutral, but it's as unbiased as you can get, because it's just a computer calculation. And we are going to airdrop. AirDrop, MacBook Pro. Ooh, that's interesting, Joe. Joe's our resident airline specialist, aircraft manufacturing specialist. But correct me if I'm wrong, there's two main players in the aircraft world. It's Airbus and Boeing. And I think Boeing has a model where they make more money off of the maintenance of the jets. Sent. Okay, done. They make a ton of money off the maintenance of the jets. Move to trash. Okay. You know what? Let's see what the quant rating on Devon is. So we've got two buys and the quant is a hold. Here's the history of the quant. Oh, why is my computer doing that? Hold on. We're going to do that. Okay. The history of the quant rating. Growth D, obviously. Momentum D, but it's a hold. See, it's a daily quant rating. And it's been going up. You can see down here it was 3. It was going up, but then it kind of shot down. Let's see. Here's the top energy sector profile, PFIE. Let's look at PFIE. Wow. This one shot from August 1st, 140. Up 103%. There's Marathon Petroleum. Look at this with a 14% dividend yield, FRO. %14 dividend yield. I want to look at a weekly on this. 14% dividend yield, and wow. That's crazy. Let's look at this. Yeah, Meta's the top one. There's Frontline. Wow. That's a great trade, Christian. And they've got a what the hell got you into this one? Hold on. I got to look at this. What the hell would interest me in this? Let's see. Summary. Profile Energy is a technology company provides burner combustion management. There's their revenue, earnings per share, good growth. Valuation C minus. Oh, they're a freaking energy company that has a forward PE of 10. Wow. See, look at what here. You have to be a genius to look at this in Seeking Alpha. This is why I think it's worth $180 a year, is because it gives you a nice centralized area to look at everything. More than FinViz. FinViz is a nice overview. Me, I like overviews. I'd probably pay $180 a year for going into depth on something like this. It's 39% on its daily above the more on moving averages. Let's see. 3 month performance. Yeah, 1 year up 129%. But shit, Christian, why have you not? I mean, I say this, but God, in the last day, this is a 4-hour chart. And it went from 313 down to 220. Is he getting ready to bounce back up? We'll look at this one for tomorrow. I'll do a little bit more research. I'll put it in my notes. Let's see. Friday. PFIE. Going back. I'll look and I'll make a prediction. Is it going back to 1 or back up to 3? I'll look at it a little bit more. I'll be right back. I'll look tomorrow, Christian. I don't know if it's going to $1. I mean, the valuation is kind of crazy. Average price target's 217. But nobody covers it, so take that with a grain of salt. I don't like Zacks. Let's see. BWEN, ELTP, Flexible Solutions, OpFi, Source. High fossil fuel prices have been a boom for companies in all areas of oil and gas, and profiling is no exception. The oil and gas rebound has meant greater demand for oil field product services. Revenue increased by 50%. Earnings spiked tenfold. Yet while such a big move over a short time may suggest a pullback is coming, these latest positive surprises may underscore a strong chance of further. Yeah, that gave me nothing. That gave me absolutely nothing. Positive surprises could continue. Let's look at, I'm going to close this down, PFIE. Let's look at peers. Smart Sand, NINE, I know that one. Oh, God. PFIE only has 105 employees, $97 million market cap. Whoa. That would keep me out of it. But, I mean, look at the year-to-date return. 105%. None of their peers are even close. I think you're right, Christian. I think it's going back down to 1. Ownership, shares ownership. They floated 75% of their shares. Insider shares, they have 11 million insider shares. Insiders own 24% of the company, which is higher than everything except for this ESOA. 44%, wow. Institutions own 44% of those shares, which means there's not a lot of shares floating out there to trade, which could mean good news. They make $55 million in revenue. Earnings per share diluted, 17 cents. Gross profit, 27. Wow. They make gross profit 27 million off of 55 million in revenue. Total cash, they have 10 million in cash. Cash per share is 17 cents. Total debt, $158,000. That's nothing. Wow. That is super, super lean. Net operating cash flow. Huh. That's not a crazy business. I mean, everything does seem like it's positive. Yeah, that's the problem. It's a high capital intensive business. This is just grades. It's not a crazy valuation. It is for energy, though. 20 cents. Is that an annual dividend? Oh, it doesn't have a dividend. Yeah. I think Rivian here. Let's see if we can find the news on Rivian. Let's see. Stock losers. Rivian, after announcing the issuance of $1.5 billion in green convertible senior notes due October 15, 2030, in accordance with green bond principles, Rivian intends to utilize the net proceeds of its issuance to finance, refinance, or invest in qualifying green initiatives. So they're diluting with the bonds. They want to raise money. So it's not crazy to raise money based on their current stock price being high. I don't think that's, I think that's, let's see, what's the date of this? September 27th. Enduro motor cost efficiencies. I do love that freaking truck. Yeah, I think that one's, I think anything in the energy space, I think it's just oversold right now. Our base case price target of $20 applies the broader EV peer group's average price to sales of 1.9 times Rivian's projected 2025 revenue. So $20 is your $20 is the Rivian like floor. So Scott, you're buying here at 19. $20 is the valuation floor. I'm not saying that, it won't go down back down to 15. It started the day down 10%. I thought that was going to be the extent of it. But nope, it's way down. Why is that not popping up again? But the markets took a little bit lower. Bitcoin's up 2.414. Where's Mara? Means Mara's probably up. Oh, Mara's down 1.33. They got their earnings coming up too. I don't think that's it. In fact, I may buy some Rivian with you. The valuation does concern me. Price to sales 6.32. What's Tesla? Price to sales 8.76. The difference is Tesla's making money. Rivian is not. So I worry a little bit about it. But you can see Wall Street has it as a buy. Quant has it as a hold. SA Analysis has it as a hold. Let's chart it. Let's see. We'll just use Tesla. Do I want BYD? This is the one. I think that's the one that, and we'll put VOO. We'll just say VOO. Okay, update chart. 1 year, VOO and BYD are beating it big time. 3 year, Rivian, you can see, just comes in here, 76% down from its IPO. But you can see Tesla and BYD DF blow it away. 5 days, Rivian's down 19%. Tesla's up 4, down 3, down 1. And that 19 is just today. I mean, that's just today. Wow, some oils have turned around. Schlumberger, Halliburton, Chevron. Okay. I am going to go and put this episode together. I don't think that's a bad play, Scott, to be honest with you, Rivian. I may buy some too. It's under its 200 day. If we just look at a weekly. If you look at a weekly where it is at today, this gap up right here, there is a slight gap there between 16 and 18. Let me pull it back to August, that double top right there, because that's where it was selling at 39. You got a pretty good shelf up here at 24. The majority of people are holding here at about 14. So I would think 18 is probably your support level here. Say 1850. The 58 really has turned lower though. In that 9 day. I might wait for this MACD to come down a little bit more drastic. But what is clear is that this kind of area between 28 and 33, kind of no man's land.